Hi everyone, I thought I would share with you my journey to get rid of the P0420 code check engine light due to a catalytic converter being below threshold. I use a Blue Driver Bluetooth code reader. However, you can go to AutoZone and they'll either read the codes for you or they'll let you do it, and can also get a reset. So I saw various techniques on the internet on how to get rid of the check engine light 420 code. So I thought I would try some of them and see how they work. For my tests, I took at least a half a dozen readings between the time I turned off the check engine light and to when it came on, to see how many miles I drove before the check engine light came on. On average, it took about 25 miles before the check engine light came on after resetting it. So the first thing I did was to add lacquer thinner. It was one technique I saw on the internet. I did 2 applications of that, a gallon per 8 to 10 gallons of gas. I was using regular gas. I was concerned about seeing a change in performance, but I didn't, so that was a relief. But in any case, there was no significant improvement. It was still about 25, 26 miles before the check engine light came on. So the lacquer thinner didn't work. Next, I bought Cataclean. It's like $35 a gallon or something. And I added that to 93 octane gas. I did 2 applications of the Cataclean, and again, there was no significant change in how many miles I drove before the check engine light came on. The third technique I saw was to purchase a pair of spark plug anti-foulers from AutoZone, and it required drilling out one of the anti-foulers and then screwing them together and then putting the oxygen sensor in that. However, Amazon does sell oxygen sensor anti-fouler. It's about 1.5 inches long. You don't have to do any drilling, and you can get 2 of those for a couple bucks more than the spark plug anti-foulers, which would only do 1 oxygen sensor from AutoZone. So you get 2 anti-foulers that can do 2 oxygen sensors. Now, the oxygen sensors that you want to change out are the ones after the catalytic converter, the last one in line. So it's the ones after the catalytic converter. You will also need an oxygen sensor socket set. Looks something like this. This is a set of 3. Put it up here. This I purchased from Amazon. It's by a company called OEM, part number 27110. It's about $15. And you'll need this because the oxygen sensor has wires on it, and the wires have to go in here so you can unscrew it. It's a 22 millimeter or 7/8 inch socket. I found that I had to use all 3 at one time or another. It was a rather difficult application for me. One of these sockets has this crazy star-shaped hole here. So I thought I was out of luck because I needed to use this, but a half inch drive fits in there nicely. So if you don't have that socket, that kind of star-shaped socket, it's not a problem. 1/2 inch drive will fit. So I replaced my oxygen sensor, and just a trick: when you put the oxygen sensor back, twist, before you put it back in, twist it counterclockwise about a dozen times so that the wires will untwist when you install it. I then painted my oxygen sensor black, not the sensor, the extension black, because it's silver, so it's not so obvious, as I don't think it's might not be legal in every state. So it's now been about 250 miles. The light has not come back on. My blue driver code reader doesn't detect any faults. And by the way, the plug for the code reader is on the driver's side at the bottom of the dash. So I passed my emissions test, and everything seems to be fine. So for me, the lacquer thinner didn't work at all. The Clean with the 93 octane gas didn't work, but extending the oxygen sensor did. So I hope this is helpful for you, and good luck. Thanks.